hey, I made an online course. An online course for long-time corporate employees. And I wanted to share some lessons with you. The lesson I will be sharing today is about some universal statements about work that are obviously universal. In general, my online course is the effect of 20 years of corporate experience. I have been an assistant, I have been a project manager, I have been a manager, and I am a director today. And I wanted to share what I learned because it could be valuable for long-time corporate employees. The course is called Personal Work Organization, and the next cohort starts on July 1st. So please enjoy this free lesson from Personal Work Organization. And if you are interested, you can click in the description and buy the course. Some universal statements. Your boss is both your biggest help and the worst hindrance. It's thanks to the management board of the company that a long-term strategy for the company is made. But at the same time, this same management board, in the form of individual management board members, will ask to their direct reports to do the exact opposite of what was stated in this long-term strategy. It's up to you to figure out what you have to follow and what you can safely ignore. It's thanks to your boss that you can focus on your work and not care about politics and decisions at higher levels of the organization or in other departments. This is made with the intent to help you do your work efficiently. But at the same time, this same boss will interrupt your focus time, ask you to do contradictory things, and communicate very poorly when delegating tasks to you, all of which will make your work actually harder, longer, and less efficient. If you don't prioritize your life, someone else will. This is my favorite line from Greg McKeown's book, Essentialism. It means that if you run away from making very difficult choices in accordance with what is important for you, someone else in your life, maybe your boss, maybe your friend, maybe your spouse, someone else will make those choices for you, and you will not be satisfied with the outcome. That's why thinking about what you value in life, planning in accordance with this priority, and being ruthless in allocating time and focus to actually achieve it is so important. My second favorite line from the Essentialism book is, which problem do you want? And it's actually a very good question to ask yourself when planning. Don't think of what you want to achieve, but rather of what negative outcomes are you willing to accept when working towards what is important for you. This will make prioritizing a lot easier. An example, of course. For me, I am willing to accept passive-aggressive comments of my coworkers and stingy management comments about how much time I spend in the office in order to have time to spend with my family and have the time to work on my side businesses. And I know, because I tested it, that as long as I bring the results the management wants me to bring, they will never go beyond the stingy comments, because I'm actually solving them real business pains and problems. Another example would be to accept not socializing so much with friends, i.e. drinking beers, in order to have the energy to wake up earlier and go running every day to improve your immunity and health. This is an example of intentional prioritizing and making strategic decisions. Work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. It's called the Parkinsons Law. And it doesn't mean that you should always wait until the last moment in order to complete the tasks you want to do in a given day. It's a reminder that you can be more ambitious with the time you allocate to certain tasks. Giving yourself 30 minutes to finish a task instead of 2 hours will motivate you to actually do it faster and to be more focused on your work. Finishing projects is hard. Only a small number of people are able to finish projects without feeling an overwhelming need to quit at about 90% of the project. From my experience, the last 10% of the project takes the same amount of energy to be completed as the first 90%. Even the most senior employees and managers want to quit at 90%. It's universal. It's true for all the people that participate in the project, but it's especially true for those who manage or are responsible for key decisions. As if the last 10% of the work was directly related to the weight of those decisions that already were made and have to be made until the end of the project. If you are aware of it, you will be able to acknowledge that it's happening and patiently go through those last 10% until the finish line. Seth Godin writes in The Practice, "Writers write, runners run. Establish your identity by doing your work." Employees ship their work on a day-to-day basis, on good days and on bad days. The quality of your work will not matter if you don't ship, or in other words, if you don't finish. That is why finishing projects, finishing work is very important. Your work is too important to be left to how you feel today. This was a quote from Seth Godin again. Nobody cares about your excuses. If you work in a large company, you might be tempted to procrastinate harder tasks because it's harder to see at first glance what's not being done if the company is big. The problem is that what is not done will always resurface suddenly at some point, usually when you will be the less prepared for it to happen. The best way, of course, is to not procrastinate, but if it catches you, then please avoid excuses. Nobody will care about them, really. Approach the situation as a professional. Excuses will not make the work suddenly get done. And the work is why you are here. So just start doing what needs to be done. Even if it's a little bit too late now, do or do not. There is no try, as Master Yoda said. It's always your fault. When things don't go as planned at work, which is very frequent actually, because we just don't control everything around us, it's tempting to blame others, the weather, or maybe some institution. But the truth is that it's always your fault. You're the one who listened to the advice that gave you the problem you have now. You are the one who left the outcome up to chance, who didn't plan for all the contingencies. You are the one whose expectations set you up to be disappointed. The famous Stoic Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius' rule was: blame yourself or blame no one. And you'll be surprised how few people understand that and restrain for blaming others, especially at work, especially in big corporations. It's unbelievable. By following this simple rule, you will instantly catapult yourself to the top 2% of all the employees in your company, because you will suddenly start acting as if the business was yours and as if you were a stakeholder and not only an employee, not only a cog in a bigger machine. Your employer actually pays you for something else. There is a famous saying amongst HR people and recruiters that goes like this: we hire for skill, but we fire for attitude. The statistics prove it. Almost 90% of people fired in the first year of their work are fired for attitudinal reasons. If you think of your work that way, your employer actually pays you more for your attitude than for your skill. The skill is getting you through the door in the recruitment process, but later it's all about your attitude. Being well organized, less stressed, and more welcoming to the clients, to your colleagues, and to your boss will have a positive impact on how you're seen in the firm, and your attitude will be appreciated. which may lead to a faster promotion or at least to not losing your job. Thank you for watching and visit www.personalworkorganization.com for more. Bye!